Hello, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your host, CryptoSomniac, here to bring you everything crypto related where the rich never sleep. Today, I'd like to talk to you guys about a couple of great news we have. But first, let's start with Amazon. Now, I know a lot of you have been, or may have wondered, there's been speculation and talk that maybe Amazon one day would accept Bitcoin as a payment method. And I think that's not too far off in the too distant future. I know we have new companies like Monetha presenting, options and solutions as far as payment goes in the cryptocurrency space. Currently, there is no solution yet, or there is no, Amazon does not accept Bitcoin. But I came across this website and wanted to introduce it to you guys. It is a way to buy Amazon gift cards via Bitcoin. So we're getting there. We're not quite there. But you can purchase, like I said, Amazon gift cards here, and you actually get a little bit of a bonus in price. So you can buy basically a $100 gift card for an extra 10% roughly, or get an extra 5%. They have a couple of different countries here that they support, France, Germany, the UK, and the USA. And to talk just a little bit about what they are and what they do. So someone basically saw an issue over in Indonesia where people get paid and they work on a website called basically Amazon Mechanical Turk. Basically, it's a website where they do work for companies. A lot of times simple stuff like fill out surveys, pick out logos, translate things, and they get paid typically in Amazon store credit or check or what have you. However, the issue with a lot of these third world countries is by the time the check gets there, the exchange rates are pretty terrible. They can get lost. Cashing it can be, really difficult in a lot of these third world countries. So someone came up with the solution of Giftback, which is a website that basically instead of ordering items from Amazon, the Turkers can tell Amazon to send their payment as a gift card to Giftback, this website here. And then what Giftback does, it actually sends them Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, as we all know, is very global, so it's very easy to send from one person to another. So they can send the Turk, or the people that did the work, money in Bitcoin and pay them for that. And then they're able to do whatever they want with the gift card or the Amazon store credit, and they sell them here online to you guys, or us, the common folk. So you can go on, access these gift cards, and they're fully transferable. I believe it says down here, we take no fees. There's no expiration on your card. And they promise the amount you buy is what Amazon will accept. So just wanted to run through that with you. Again, this is giftback.com. And again, I don't think it's too far off in the distant future where we'll see major companies start to accept things like Bitcoin as a payment method. I think some of the scaling issues that we're seeing here in Bitcoin today, and even Ethereum a little bit, are being addressed. And as the ground is paved and the road is paved and things start to develop, I think you'll see more options. As I mentioned earlier, we have Monetha, which was a recent ICO, trying to aim to do something very similar in that facet. And I think a lot of this stuff is just starting to come together, guys. I think, like we've mentioned and talked about on this channel a lot, the cryptocurrency is extremely young. A lot of this stuff is going to be developed, and I think a lot of the naysayers and people that don't believe in it, are going to be left behind. A lot of people refuse to accept it yet. They're not very knowledgeable. They don't know enough about it, and I think that's my job. It's to bridge that gap and help you guys understand the use case for it, because I know even when I got into it, I didn't get into it till 3-4 years ago. Bitcoin was very speculative, and now I understand its use case and know that it's not going anywhere. What I also want to talk about is Metropolis and the first Ethereum ETF. So let's start with Metropolis real fast. I want to cover it, and I know a lot of people have been wondering why the price of Ethereum might go up the rest of the year, and why I think so bullish on it, and why Ethereum is so great. For starters, we have Metropolis, which is a hard fork coming up. It's scheduled to be released either in late September or early October, either the 4.3 either block number 4.3 million or block 4.4 million, the latter being pushed back till October. I'm not sure what is contingent on that. I don't know which one will go, or what's contingent upon the two dates. But the first one will take place on, like I said, in late September, early October. The second one will take place likely later this year. There's no official release date for it. And they're doing a bunch of things. The first is they're introducing ZK snarks, or zero knowledge proofs, which is something that Zcash uses. So it's proven, and it's really adds, I guess, a layer of security and anonymity to the Ethereum ecosystem, and that'll be really helpful and useful, especially as we integrate a lot of this stuff into payment processing and financial sectors, as they certainly want some level of security in the transactions and processes that they're involved in. Additionally, they have abstraction, which they are adding into the upcoming hard fork, which is going to basically help make Ethereum resistant to quantum computing and reduce risks and mitigate sort of attacks in that fashion, because quantum computing isn't too far off in the distant future and can certainly be a concern in cryptocurrency. Additionally, the fork will help to solidify programming in Solidity. As we all know, it's a very difficult, or may not know, it's a very difficult language to program in. And it will help basically bring new functionality and give it a little bit better of a feel for new programmers to build dApps on. So great stuff there. And then last thing, they have the mining difficulty time bomb, which is basically something that they'll implement when they move to proof of stake during the fourth major upgrade, Casper, next year, or even 2019. I have a feeling that it'll get pushed back, to be honest, to 2019. But the proof of, or the mining difficulty time bomb is basically a time bomb which makes it less profitable for miners to get rewards on the block. It basically ramps up the time, it ramps up the time it would take to get the same amount of reward, essentially, and really decentivizes people to stay on that chain. So it'll basically force all the miners to switch from that chain to the new chain. Essentially, there would be absolutely no benefit to sticking with the old chain. So they're introducing that in prep, basically, for the fourth and final upgrade called Casper. So again, Metropolis is going to be spread over 2 hard forks this coming year, and I just think that's going to be a slow, steady process. They're breaking it down into pieces so as to not, run things into the ground, and it's going to bode really well for the price of Ethereum as we head off into the end of the year. Additionally, I just got news that the first ETF for Ethereum has been created by the Securities Exchange Commission here in the United States, which is really good news. There's this article here. I'll link it afterwards in the video. You can also access it. I believe one of my moderators posted this in my group right here in my Facebook group if you're not a member. The first, again, Ethereum ETF. Now, as you guys might know, we have the Bitcoin ETF. We have GBTC, which is a way for traditional, traditional stock investors to somehow get their hands involved in Bitcoin, and it's being traded, on the stock exchange here in the United States, and it is, again, I think it's a great news for Ethereum. We're getting the first ETF, so it's a way for people that don't want to get their hands on cryptocurrency, get it set up on an exchange, open a wallet, all that nitty-gritty work. This is going to be a great opportunity for new investors and new money to flow in. And I told you, I think it's only a matter of time until we start to see major institutions really get their hands on it, and we're seeing it. We're already seeing that. We see China seizing up because they want their piece of the pie. They're starting to realize how legitimate cryptocurrencies and ICOs really are. And again, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think regulation is fine. And it just goes to show you that the higher-ups are paying attention. And this is, again, great news. I think a lot of new money will be able to will be coming in, and I think this will also, again, help the price of Ethereum throughout the end of the year. And as we move forward and progress and we add more and more regulations and things become more and more, for real, that this is only going to bode well. I think, like I said, this is extremely young for cryptocurrency. We have a lot of ground to pave and walk, basically. We're nowhere near the stock market is, but we're getting there, and I think this is becoming more and more of a legitimate investment that people can make, and these are just sort of the new vehicles that people will be able to use to invest into cryptocurrencies. ETFs are a vehicle that some of your average investors can use to invest in things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think this is fantastic news for Ethereum today. Again, the first ETF for Ethereum is on its way, and I'll link the article here below. Additionally, I'm going to take some of your guys' questions, so leave them in the side and comments. I'll answer them here as we go. And then usually I give away free crypto here on the channel every day to someone who shares on Facebook or Twitter. And if you guys are familiar, I just use a random number generator. So I'm going to pull that up. 1 will be for Facebook, 2 for Twitter. And it is a 2 for Twitter. So anyone who shared my video yesterday, again, all you got to do is share it on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll get you guys some free cryptocurrency afterwards. So if I go back yesterday, my video was on the Chinese exchanges. We had 16 retweets. So let's go back to the random number generator and pick between 1 and 16. Random number generator. I'm not a very good speller. 16 and number 1. Wow, there we go, easy. So woofsie, I'll tag you in this post afterwards and get you some free crypto. So I'll do that afterwards. Let me take some of your guys' questions. Again, I'll be having if you're not a member of the Facebook group community, I'll be doing a live chat tonight. I like to just hop on there and answer some of your guys' questions. So if you're not a member of the community, it's a great place to learn. It's a great place to share information. We have a large community, and a lot of times I learn stuff that even I can't stay on top of. So if you give me one moment, I actually accidentally closed you guys. Let me open you guys up, and if there are questions, I will be happy to take some of them. Give me 1 second here to log in. Live streaming. There we go, and we are in. So look how far crypto has come without simple or reliable exchange. Once there's a legit exchange, things will go even faster. Totally agree. Thoughts on Bitcoins? I am not the biggest fan of it. I read into their team. I think it's a little bit of, I'm just not a big fan of their team. I think it's not a project that I'm incredibly knowledgeable on because I'm not invested in it. I usually advise people to do their homework and know what they're investing in. I read enough to know that I wasn't interested in, but I know everyone has their own personalities and opinions, so I don't want to say anything bad about it, but it just wasn't a project that personally interested me based on the team that I researched and found out. Anyone know which cryptos are being added to Binance? I do believe there is a vote. You can take a poll and ask which coins you want to see be added to Binance. NEO or OMG for long-term hold, 1 to 2 years? Absolutely. Both projects are extremely strong. Both fundamentals, great fundamentals. NEO outlook would be cool. I think both are fantastic. NEO, again, I told you, I think the regulations and stuff for China is a good thing. The money, they want a piece of the pie. They want to get in there, and they are, this is the way of doing it. Earlier last year, I forget when it was, they banned the 3 major exchanges that you could purchase Bitcoin on. And what did they do? They all came back online, and new money flowed into the market right afterwards. I wouldn't be surprised if they had some kind of, or introduced some way for Chinese citizens to invest in these ICOs. What they needed to do is they needed to say, hey, we're putting this on pause. We need to figure out how we're going to do this. They don't want to see the money disappear. They want the people's money. If the people's money want to invest in companies, they're going to take it. They just want to protect them and make sure that they're not investing in companies that are going to go run away off the ground. China wants to see new companies do well, just like we want to see companies here do well. We invest in new startups and new companies. We pay money to go in the stock market and own a piece of these companies because we believe in them. We want them to see them do well. The same thing. They believe in NEO. They have ties to the government. NEO does. There's higher ups involved, and they see the potential in it. They want to make sure that they do it right, and they don't want to miss out on an opportunity. So trust me and believe me that they're doing what they need to. Now, I know it's hard to access a lot of information, and there's a lot of firewalls up, and it's hard to get onto some Chinese websites. But trust me when I say that NEO's not going anywhere, and they're doing the right thing. Between Ethereum and NEO, which is the better for September, October? I'm just going to say Ethereum just to do the hit for here now for NEO, but I mean, both are great long term. Ethereum's got Metropolis in the works. NEO has a bunch of ICOs coming out. To be honest, I mean, it's a toss-up. I think both are great long term, and I'd recommend holding both. What do you think about ARK? I think ARK is a great project. It really is one of those projects that helps bridge the gap here in cryptocurrency and adopt it to the main world. They are using sort of what they call listeners to basically work and change and swap between cryptocurrencies. And I think it'll be really interesting in how it plays out. And they've been living up to the expectations in their roadmap, and they also offer a dividend, a return, which I think is pretty great. At what levels should we add some NEO to your portfolio? It really depends on everyone's, there's not a one portfolio fits all in my book. It's what you're comfortable with investing in. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are the safest. They're the largest. And from there, you can, branch down into what you're comfortable with. I think everyone has to have their own, your own risk and level set. I have my own. Hopefully you have, your own as well. Have you looked at authorship? They got a $100,000 grant from the U.S. government to help with apply blockchain to the public library. No, I know what they are. I think I got a bunch of those free tokens from the referral sign up, but didn't a project that looked super appealing to me. I have a background in engineering, so I like to focus on some of the tech coins. I'll be honest, there's over 1,000 cryptocurrencies. There's no way one person could stay on top and be knowledgeable on all of them. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about authorship. It just didn't interest me from a over high level view. So I have an idea of what they do. I wasn't, I didn't take the time to read the white paper. Can't comment on it, anymore. Litecoin is a great coin. I think everyone should have some in their portfolio as well. It's pretty high up there in my portfolio. It's a stable coin. It's the silver to Bitcoin, so I think everyone should have a little bit. So yeah, if there's any more questions, I'll take them. Also, I offer one-on-one appointments for those of you who I have a lot of clients that talk to me once a week over the phone. Where's my YouTube profile? Over on my YouTube channel, if I go to it, there is a link in my banner to schedule one-on-ones. I also have a course over on Udemy. It's $10. You'll learn everything you need to know on how to get started in cryptocurrency. It's basically the best place to get started in cryptocurrency. Civic coming back someday. Yes, I do believe Civic is a great coin, and I'm working on potentially getting an interview with their CEO. I think it's a great project long term. Really cool. Insights for OMG and through the rest of the year. OMG is really focused on delivering on their roadmap. They're not a very news driven. There's not a lot of hype around them. They're just doing what they do. They have a parent company, Omise. They don't need to throw out big catchy news articles to get people to invest. They have a customer base already. So I think we'll continue to see them do good work. I believe in what they're doing. Thoughts on Suppo Man? I know he's another YouTube vlogger. I've seen him before. He seems to yell a lot into the camera. I don't know. He's another YouTube vlogger. I don't have time to sit and watch everybody. And Pay is a good company long term. I think there's a lot of what was I going to say? A lot of competition in the credit card space. Not that they can't coexist, but there's a lot of competition out there. We have 10x, we have Monaco, we have Token Card, Centra, and I'm sure we'll see many more. But I like what they're doing. Civic and Pay very oversold and on the outer edge of the lower oscillator. Both will rip soon. Binance announced today that they will add Bitcoins. Do you think it will benefit the price? Yeah, it usually does. You see new money flow into the market, and then usually afterwards you see people take profit. So I'm sure you could see a little swing. We might see a blow up and then a take profit. And yeah, so usually it's a good thing when new money hits new exchanges. It gives people access to new money. Any thoughts on why DNT and IOTA have dipped so hard but have not bounced back yet? Are they just too new? I think both of them are very new. DNT just hit a lot of exchanges just recently. So any thoughts on DNT? Okay, so that's going to wrap it up here for today. Also, I do offer the Moon Lounge, which people can get into next month if they want. It is $100 per month. You get access to all of the trades I make on a daily basis, how I structure my portfolio. It's really guidance to provide to you guys to stay on track. So you can consider joining that. There's a link here in my banner profile or in the video description below. And look forward to joining my Facebook group. If you're not, like I said, I do a lot of these live streams over on there as well and take a lot of your questions. I'll be doing one this evening. So thank you for tuning in, and remember, stay a cryptosomniac because the rich never